Welcome to Next Era Income. Today, we're going to break down the blueprint for success in this new digital world. And, you might be surprised to hear that the foundation, it isn't technology, it's actually your mindset. So let's just start with a really fundamental question. Have you ever really thought about this? I mean, you could have two people looking at the exact same situation. One of them sees nothing but risk and just freezes up, while the other person, they see a path forward, a chance to build something totally new. What is that difference? And let's just scale that question way up. Why is it that some people go on to build billion-dollar, world-changing companies, while so many others stay stuck, absolutely paralyzed by the fear of what could go wrong? The answer to this really defines everything. So what is it? Is it luck, privilege, or just being some kind of genius? Nope. It actually boils down to one surprisingly simple but incredibly powerful idea. That's it, mindset. Think of it like the operating system that runs in the background of your brain. It's the software that determines how you process every single challenge, every opportunity. It's what powers your ambition. And this right here, this simple comparison breaks the whole thing down. Asking what if I fail, that's all about preventing loss. But asking what if this works, well, that's about achieving a massive gain. That one little mental shift changes the entire game. It's the difference between playing defense and playing to win. Now, Elon Musk is obviously a perfect example of this, but it's so important to understand that this way of thinking wasn't just handed to him. His path was anything but easy. I mean, just let this sink in. He was bullied, he had massive failures, he lost a ton of money, and he came to the absolute edge of losing everything with both Tesla and SpaceX. This is not some overnight success story. It's a story of pure resilience. And it was all fueled by a totally different way of thinking. So what is this way of thinking exactly? While it's not magic, you can actually break it down into a blueprint. 3 core principles that really anyone can start to apply. All right, so here are the 3 pillars. First, it's about thinking in decades, not days. Second, you have to embrace difficulty as just a necessary part of the journey. And third, you need a relentless drive to constantly learn. Let's dig into each one. Okay, first up, long-term thinking. Most of the world is completely wired for the short term, the next quarterly report, the next paycheck. This mindset is about playing a totally different game. It's about building something that's going to be incredibly valuable 10 years from now, even if it looks pretty small today. And this is the perfect illustration. I mean, think about it. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon, most people were still weirded out by the idea of buying anything online. But he wasn't building a company for 1995. He was building for the world of 2010 and beyond. He saw where the puck was going, not just where it was. Number 2, a high pain tolerance. And this one is so critical. Building anything worthwhile is going to be hard. It's going to involve stress, setbacks, a ton of pressure. Most people quit the second it gets uncomfortable. This principle means you understand that pain isn't a stop sign. It's actually the price of admission for doing something big. Let's go back to that moment with Tesla. Can you even imagine the stress, the public ridicule, when you are literally weeks away from total bankruptcy? The easy thing to do is just quit. But a high pain tolerance means you push right through that wall of fire because your focus is locked on that long-term vision. And the third principle, an obsession with learning. And obsession is absolutely the right word here. This isn't just a casual hobby. It's a deep, relentless drive to figure out how things really work and to pick up new skills. This is the engine that makes sure you're always working smarter, not just harder. And it's not some magic formula, it's a really simple process. It means you dedicate real time to reading, it means you study things way outside your comfort zone, and you truly go deep on the fundamentals. That's how you build an advantage that no one can take away from you. Okay, so we've looked at the principles, but how does any of this apply to you? Let's translate this big picture mindset into an actual, actionable plan. And this is probably the most crucial point of all. You don't have to build rockets to use this kind of thinking. It's a tool that you can apply to anything, building a side business, learning a new skill, or even just making a big career change. So here it is, your action plan. First, start thinking long-term. Plan your career on a 10-year horizon, not just a 1-year cycle. Second, actively work on increasing your pain tolerance. When you hit a roadblock, see it as part of the process, not a dead end. Third, focus on learning high-value digital skills that are actually in demand. And finally, see technology not as something to be afraid of, but as the single most powerful tool you have to build your future.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is really all about. You don't have to just let the future happen to you. You can become the architect of your future.
And this is the key takeaway here. Look, it's not an overnight fix, but a real commitment to upgrading your mindset, your skills, and your systems can totally change your life in the next 5 years. If you're serious about building that kind of success, make sure you subscribe to Next Era Income so you can keep getting blueprints for this new digital era.
Let's end with that thought. Your future is not a lottery ticket, it's a blueprint. Luck just seems to favor the people who are prepared, resilient, and who have intentionally designed a system for their own success. So the only question left is, what are you going to design?